Yo, what up, Graham? Good morning. So there's just a few things that I want to talk about really quickly on a quick live. Um, so yesterday on YouTube, I posted a video talking about the Pixel 7a, which is going to be announced on Google I/O 2023, and there's been a lot of leaks, right? It's been leaked video of the phone itself, what it looks like. There's the design language and everything has been leaked months ago, and so there's just a lot of leaks, right? And one of the leaks is the pricing for it, $499, and what you're getting from it is fairly similar to the Pixel 7, minus the fact that it's just a tad bit smaller than the Pixel 7. But I think one of the biggest things and one of the biggest problems with the Pixel 7a is if you compare it to the Galaxy A54, the pricing of the Galaxy A54 seems to be a lot better, and you're getting a little bit more. I think the Galaxy A54, like if people want to compare like the refresh rate on the display, they're gonna say that it's I think it's 120, it's 120 hertz refresh. The Pixel 7a is 90 hertz. That's just because the fact that last year's model, the Pixel 6a, was only 60. So I think that's one of the the things that I'm kind of pointing out, is that there are other mid-range devices that are definitely going to be considered a better option, And I guess my frustration with it is that, Marquez Brownlee last year, complained about it being a 60 hertz refresh. Then everybody kind of like fell on top of that. Everybody wanted to talk about that because he talked about it. They all want to talk about it. And, for what we're getting and then what the price is, if people are going to be upset that, the pricing costs more, not to be the asshole in the whole thing, but then I would tell people like, hey, you asked for it. People push the boundaries where they expect to get near flagship specifications on a smartphone, but be priced out as a mid-range. And it doesn't work that way. The more things you add in, the higher the cost is going to go to have to put those things in, right? I mean, see, when you kind of think about it, to be quite honest with everybody, when you think about it, the Galaxy A54 uses a Exynos 1380 chip, which is, it's mid-range. It's not a flagship chip. When you look on a Pixel 7a side, that chipset, the Tensor G2, that is a flagship chip because that is Google's chip, in-house built chip. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those weird situations. Let me see if I can reverse park this big beast of a freaking truck. Give me 1 second here just to kind of get the car parked. Oh, looks like we're good. So anyways, as I was stating, when you think about the Galaxy A54, you think about all the specifications that it has, right? It could have 120 hertz refresh rate on the device. That's a given. Exynos 1380 chip inside of it, right? anywhere from 6 to 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 to 256 of internal storage. And you're looking at a price for that device, which is $449. So basically $450 for the phone. And the Pixel 7a, it's going to have a 90 hertz refresh rate display. Battery is I want to say 5,000, but it could be like a 4,355 milliamp hour battery. You're getting Android 13, move to Android 14 once that comes out. You get a Tensor G2 chip, which is Google's own in-house built chip. 6 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of internal storage. So, I mean, when you look at that, you would think that the Pixel 7a would be priced out at $449, but because of the addition of wireless charging and the 90 hertz refresh rate display, it's going to cost $50 more. I already foresee this because every year it's the same thing in the tech space. I always know that, Apple will get a pass. Samsung always gets a pass. Google is heavily critiqued. I know this, and I'm not arguing that point. I don't care if people want to make YouTube videos and talk about, the Pixel 7a in such a deep way. In this situation, there's really no grounds. There's really no grounds. Like the Pixel 6a last year, yes, it had a 60 hertz refresh. And people took to modifying the phone because they were able to discover that the display itself can push a 90 hertz refresh display, right? But if you did modify your Pixel 6a and you push for a 90 hertz refresh, you could do some serious damage to the display panel on the device. So, it was just one of those things where it's like, it is what it is type situation. This year they use a panel that, specific for a 90 hertz refresh. Now, to me, the 90 hertz refresh display is not such a big deal at all to me whatsoever. I mean, I do have devices that have a higher refresh rate for the display. It is smoother on certain things that you do. Like if you play games, like video games on your smartphone, obviously the animations are going to be much smoother and just feel a little realistic. When when you're scrolling through something, you're gonna definitely see the effects in a 90 hertz refresh, right? A device that has 120 hertz refresh is going to be more visible to see the differences between that and 60 hertz, because you're talking about double the refresh rate on animations on the display as it's moving along through things. So you'll definitely see a great big difference there. So this is where I feel like that the Pixel 7a is going to catch mass crap from a lot of people, is just the fact that it's only a 90 hertz refresh display. It's not 120. It's nearly maintaining the same specifications as last year's model, the Pixel 6a, with the inclusion of wireless charging, which, again, the A series devices from Google are meant to be budget mid-range, right? And that's what it's always been. Before Google started making their own chip, they used to use Qualcomm 600 series chips and 700 series chips, which aren't flagship chips. They're not chips built for flagship phones, right? The 800 series has always been it. But now that, Google makes their chip in-house, we're actually getting that same chip that they put in their flagship devices, like the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro. That same chip, the Tensor G2, is going to be in the Pixel 7a. So you're getting the enriched Pixel experience, right? You're getting the software optimization and the user interface. You're getting, all the bells and whistles when it comes to the camera for photography. I believe they bumped it up also in the camera department, so they're no longer using the Sony IMX363 camera sensor that's found in previous Pixel devices, all the way up to the Pixel, 6a. I believe that they stepped it up to the Samsung GN1 sensor, which I believe is a 50 megapixel. Some sites are saying 64 megapixel, so I'm not entirely too sure. So you're getting quite a bit of stuff that would put the 7a in that bracket to give you the Pixel experience, right? It just sucks that the pricing has to get moved up to $499 if that's really what it's going to be at day of launch. $499. Me personally, I would care less, but I already can see people taking to social media being upset. I can already see people taking to social media in, comments in my friends' videos, comments on my videos, comments on the main tech people on YouTube. I can see them taking to the comments and being firmly upset about this price change. And I'm not trying to be a smartass on social media when I say, like, hey, you guys wished for this. Because literally, I mean, that's what it is. You know, last year people didn't complain so much about the Pixel 6a. I honestly feel like that the 7a would have followed in suit. You know, the 6a last year won a blind camera test. I mean, MKBHD went ahead and took photos from various different phones and then had it compared and voted by all his followers. And the 6a won. Like, the Pixel 6a's photos won. And it was just such a crazy thing because it was like, they won, like, you know, they did good. So, I mean, the camera department was always going to be good, right? Computational photography on Google Pixels is, like, bar none, hands down, the best. You know, the phone performed well. Even today, there's, like, so many videos dropping about how the Pixel 6a is probably one of the best phones, you know, made. Pixel 6a dominates all. Pixel 6a is the move. All these different video titles, you know, but basically referencing that the Pixel 6a was so great. And, you know, it's like, but we already did our bitching and complaining for, you know, last year with the Pixel 6a, that I feel like that the one time that I really didn't want Google to listen to the fan base, they actually listened. It's like, oh my God, now you guys throw in wireless charging, you guys throw in, you know, the 90 hertz refresh display panel, you guys, you know, like, oh my gosh, it's like you guys now throw it in. And then you're like, okay, we're moving up the price to 500. And like, so before I close this up, the reason why that I'm emphasizing why this is such a crazy thing, right, is because the Pixel 7a is not a device that you're going to throw into the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro. The Pixel 7a is the mid-range budget option that is for a spring release following the release of its flagship brother. Last year, we got the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro. I truly enjoy using the Pixel 7. It's a phenomenal device. The Pixel 7a is not too far in a gap away from the Pixel 7, other than the size of the display, probably the build material, what's used to build the phone is probably not going to be made out of Victus glass or, you know, any of that. They're so similarly close. I don't think the pricing needs to be similarly close. Because now, if you kind of think about it, somebody would look at it and, you know, you can get a Pixel 7 for much cheaper than $499 on different promotions. But if we just compare it for launch price to launch price, $599 for the Pixel 7, $499 for the Pixel 7a, if that's really what it's going to be. If you think about it, there's only a $100 difference. Now, me, I'm a logical thinker. If I wanted to buy the Pixel 7a, if I wanted to, I walk into a store, right? Say I got my paycheck. I got paid $1,400. Walk into the store. Okay, I'm about to buy the Pixel 7a. Now look over and I see the Pixel 7, $599. Right? Just a little bit bigger display. About the same specifications, 90 hertz refresh, you know, all that jazz. I would think to myself, okay, it's flagship. It's a flagship device. Why not just spend the extra $100 and just get the Pixel 7? That's me. Now, to other people, they may have had their hearts set on getting the Pixel 7, and they walk in to go buy the Pixel 7. Let's say they're going to buy it at full price, at $599. Really? Because they wanted a phone with a higher refresh rate. They wanted a phone that had wireless charging. So they go in, they look at the Pixel 7. They're about to tell the Best Buy rep that they want to grab a Pixel 7, but there's a Pixel 7a. They start reading the specifications. Okay, it's got a slightly smaller display, not a big deal. It's got but it's got wireless charging. You know, it's got a 90 hertz refresh, you know, display, which for them, you know, they want to be able to see the animations of catching a Pokemon in Pokemon Go much smoother. You know, it's got the same cameras, just about, and it's $100 less. Well, then buy the 7a. See, that's the problem. They're going to be undercutting each other. There's you know, the reasonings to grabbing one over the other. I mean, it's just going to be the lines are getting blurred. And that was always my biggest worry when it came to the Google Pixel A series devices was, you know, how much was the tech geeks going to push this thing until they nearly blurred the lines between mid-range and flagship, or actually do blur the lines between mid-range and flagship. Like, how far will we push it? And you know what? I'm surprised that we pushed it pretty damn far. So anyways, yeah, that's just my quick thoughts on the morning live stream here on Graham. Those that came in and watched, thank you guys for popping in and just checking it out for a brief moment. Those that watched the replay, hashtag replay crew. And if you're watching this on the YouTube side, thanks for watching it, because I will be uploading this to YouTube. But yeah, that's all I gotta say right now. I'm gonna go inside. I got things to do today. So yeah, and I took the new ride to drop the kids off. So this big beastly Nissan Armada. I love this. I love this SUV. But anyways, I'll talk to y'all later.